See you in a bit, baby. Ooh, lots of comments so far. Should be a good one tonight. It's fucking usually more on by now than that. Took him for a minute. There were fucking loads waiting. It's telling me 5, 9. It'll jump up. Come on, boys and girls. Oh, bollocks. We might as well start it. Bollocks. There you go. That's the SOS. Morse code. Here on Raconteurs News, we are belling those bells. We are tolling those bells, those beeps, loud. Save our souls. Tonight we've had a marvelous man. Boris Johnson has decided that we can go out for fuck all unless we can prove where we're going and then all that sort of shit. So, like I said, good evening. Welcome to Raconteurs News. It's the 23rd of March, 2020. I'm Jason Holmes, and I'll be with you for the next hour or so. I think we'll see how it goes anyway. I think we tried to do that last night on the Webster Report, which didn't quite happen in the end. We went nearly 2 hours, I think we went in the end. So we're going to be continuing on with that because the guest that I got lined up for tonight, Jason Green from False Flags and Media Hoaxers, he's been called into work tonight, so he's not been able to do anything. So I understand with the current situation, he says he'll come and visit us next week. So I just thought that I'd get in touch with Webby and just see if we could reunite the cast from last night's Webster Report. While we let me just drag Webby in. Hang on, he's been sat there waiting patiently. There he is. Good evening. So let's say good evening to our guests for this evening. If you were watching us last night, it'll be no surprise to you. If you were watching the Webster Report last night, it'll be no surprise to you that it's myself, Webby, and Clarky. So Webby, how are you doing, mate? Good evening. And how are you feeling after Boris has given us our orders? Oh, he's run off.
Well, there's your answer to that, pal. He's had enough already.
It's just completely full. Well, I'll tell you what, then we'll get on to you, Clarky, because obviously that question was a little bit too hard for Webby, and he's just like, well, fuck this, I've had enough.
To be honest, mate, it was expected from my point of view anyway, you know. As soon as I heard all this going down, you know, to begin with, it was inevitable, wasn't it, from day one. Sorry, mate, my dog's trying to chew me up here. Get out, you pillaging.
I think I heard him last night. Made me jump a couple of times.
So she's a bit, hang on, mate, just let me lad to get him out of the room. Bit of a psycho. But yeah, it was did he even say the word lockdown?
No, we didn't say lockdown. I don't think so. Anyway, the funny thing is, I think Webby's having one or two problems, so we'll remove that one and we'll add him to this one. There you go. Webby, can you hear us now, mate?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you at last.
It was I was on Wi-Fi. All right, Clarky lad. So where are you up to then, mate? Because
I asked you a question. I asked you what you thought. I mean, I did an introduction, and just sort of said that we were regrouping. This was the dreaded second album from last night's Webster Report. You, myself, and Clarky. And then I said to you, how are you, Paul? How's your day been? And how do you respond to the new information that we've just received? And you just got up and ran off.
We thought you'd had enough, like.
Do you know what, lads? That's exactly what I thought. Honestly, it was like, do you know what? I have a lot of these moments. Do you remember the moment in Jaws where the Kittner boy is out in the sea on that lilo and the shark attacks him and Chief Brody's sat in his deck chair like that being massaged and the camera does a weird effect?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
On him, yeah.
Well, I'm sat there watching Boris Johnson. Give me my fucking Cat D. He's just giving me Cat D, and I'm having one of those moments because I'm going, I'm living in open prison conditions right now. I never even thought about that. Never mind, never even thought I'd live. You know, this is there's a lot of stuff happening very, very quickly at the minute.
Yeah, rapidly. The thing that's, I mean, go on, pal. Sorry.
I was just going to say, before we get into that, Clarky, let's just do a bit of what do they call it? Housework first. Are you all right with the you can see all the comments coming through?
Yeah, I've done it right this time.
We've got all that sussed and everything. And have you, Webby?
Yeah, sorted, mate.
And I just want to update. I just want to update people because I'm tracking Adie's flight. Bugger! Last time I saw it, we're over West Bengal. So, AD got a flight out. He's got a flight out. He's gone to Bangkok Airport.
Oh, is this the dude you were on about last night? Yeah,
that's him. Yeah,
so
he's paid £1,000 for a non-stop flight because they said to him that if it weren't non-stop, then there were a chance he wouldn't get home. If there were stopovers because he came via Dubai. So
he wouldn't be stuck there, would he? Even in Cat D conditions here, he won't be stuck there.
Well, exactly. So he's on his way back. He lands about 10 to 7 in the morning at Heathrow. That's the only one he could get. But I suppose at least he's going to be on terracotta, as they say. But there'll be nobody to pick him up. So anyway,
shaking.
Like.
No, it is. So we are literally now in that prison state, and I always thought to myself, the stuff I've looked at over the years, and well, not research, but just kept me ear to the ground. I always knew we were heading at that point, but I didn't think it'd come in so fast the way it has. It's a pretty scary one, to be honest with you.
Conditions have just been ripe. They've just been right. Everything's happened for a reason. But there's an interesting thing, Jason, that come to me earlier, and you put it in my head with the flu jab. What if the flu jab actually contains COVID? What if that's the catalyst or precursor to something that is now being spread? What if that is the case?
They did say earlier on the BBC, anybody that's had a flu virus,
they did, yeah.
Yeah, seen it.
Are more susceptible to COVID-19, which is what I said right from the very start. I said it's all to do with flu vaccines. They're the people that are going to cop it. The young ones are going to cop it, and then but it's going to be all right for them because they're going to be able to get away with it. It's just going to go through their immune system, but they're going to give it to the older generation. And that when we were talking about that Dominic Cummings yesterday. I mean, just like I said, what an utter cunt he is, and he's in writing saying things like that. So it's another place to look, isn't it?
But if he's saying things like that, then people around him and people who work with him are all of that ilk. Would you not think they're leaning that way?
Yeah. Well, they'd have to be, wouldn't they?
If that's the case, why am I seeing post after post where, oh yes, Boris has done the right thing? People calling for army on
because
the street.
They're completely and utterly fast asleep, brother.
I can't understand. I really can't. I'd put careful what you wish. And you've just been having an argument with somebody online, and Do you know what? People
I give
like
up, mate.
that,
I give up on that one.
Mate, you can't win with an idiot like that.
No.
You know, he openly admits he hasn't got a clue what you're talking about, but he's got an opinion. You know, it's. I think it's typical of people like him.
They're the type of people that you bump into in street, though, you know, after their keyboard warrior antics, and they don't have the same things to say, you know. And I don't mean that like I'm not better than anything, but, you know, when people have an opinion, I like to air it properly, you know, instead of in the virtual realm.
Well, the thing is, nobody is ever going to agree on everything. But when you have an opinion on something and it's based on nothing, it's just an opinion, then that makes you look not only arrogant, it makes you look a prick.
Blind, just completely fast asleep,
really.
You know. It's like what you just said, though. Everybody's literally the way that they've done this, and it's all come about. They've got the Joe public begging for it, and they don't even know what they're begging for. I mean, it's going to get to the point where members of your family are going to be getting quarantined, and you're probably never going to see them again.
Forcibly so.
Oh,
forcibly so, mate. Forcibly so. Yeah, that's exactly.
I mean, the only public events that apparently, if the next phase goes through, you're going to be able to attend is a funeral. Wow.
Did you notice the rhetoric about the saving lives, saving the NHS again?
That's like
it's always in the rhetoric. It was on the podiums and everything. It's getting beyond the joke, but you know, I don't know what to say about the general public anymore, lads. I really don't. It's
idiocracy.
It is. You're right.
They've played a blinder. They've played an absolute blinder. I mean, all I saw today. I mean, I'm looking on my Facebook page now, and there's a thing at the top that says, "Jason, together we can slow the spread of coronavirus, COVID-19, and yada yada yada." And I saw something earlier on that was, and I just thought to myself, for God's sake, it was raising awareness. Raise awareness. Who don't know about this? It's not been. There's been no sport. You can't say I've been watching too deep in sport. You can't say I've been too deep in soaps because, well, you know, that's all that people are talking about. If you're in that area, it's just what. We've just gone. It's just gone so far. I think it's all set up.
Of course it is.
This is definitely being stage managed.
Even if you're not, you know, one of these people who looks into different conspiracies and whatnot, it's just plainly there, man. Just look at it at face value. It's a massive rig, man. We've all been duped.
Maybe it's a case of the Monty Python and Holy Grail bit where, you know, oh no, it's only a flesh wound and there's like just a head left. Maybe that's what it's going to be like. You know, they're going to be in the FEMA camps and going, oh, it's a lovely holiday camp. There's a playground and everything.
Well,
the tiger in Africa must have escaped from the zoo.
No, it's scary, man. I mean, a couple of years back, I knocked myself sick of conspiracy theories and that. I really did, honestly, make myself ill. But, you know, a quarter of the stuff I was looking at has actually, you know, come to fruition over the years, and makes me wonder, you know, am I really that nutty after all?
I'll tell you what, the ones who always thought people who talked about this stuff were nuts, they're the ones who are now asking questions because everybody knows there's something not right about this. Everybody knows there's something. Everybody I'm bumping into, you know, they feel, it's like me, this is a very surreal time, dangerous times, but I feel so peaceful for some reason.
Well, some dude just said there on the comments, his estate's crawling with pigs after the stabbing of a young lad. And there was a stabbing in Bolton the other day. Some young girl who had her throat sliced.
7-year-old kid.
Some woman. I mean, I don't understand what's going on. Yeah, but the sad thing is, you actually see posts where people have stood there filming the fucking air ambulance picking it up and everything, man. I mean, what? People just don't have any compassion or anything anymore. You know what I mean? It's just it's gone beyond, man. And all these people who were crying for this lockdown, they're going to have a big fucking shock in the next couple of months. Couple of months' time, they're going to be wishing they never asked for it. Because I'm wondering, is this the point where this lockdown's come in and it kind of just stays like that?
Well, this just about sums up people. One of the reports tonight was that in town tonight in Sheffield, it was in gridlock as people were queuing to get their last Big Mac before they closed down at 7 o'clock.
Seriously?
I've seen it, yeah. I've seen the articles as well.
No, I've not seen that.
Olympics have gone today as well, haven't they? Olympics have been postponed.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's been announced today. I mean, it's just I keep saying it, but you know all the people that say stop the world and want to get off. Well, now's your fucking chance because it's stopped.
Yeah.
It's fucking stopped. There's nothing happening anywhere.
But what if you
soon?
Jason, what if you get off and turn around and go, fuck me, it's not been moving all this time?
Oh, don't get us going on that, man.
Oh no,
Mickelson and Morley stood over there going, I fucking told you, you dickhead.
So let's have a look at what these stipulations, what we can do. Let's find. Let's.
It's a smaller list, mate. What we can do is a smaller list to go through, anyway.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Oh, do you know? I never know how to fucking work this computer thing. Why do they make them so fucking complicated?
Am I all right for background noise, lads? Can you hear any background noise? Because I've got.
Yeah, you're sweet, mate.
That'll be good, yeah.
You are this end, anyway.
Sky News. Let's go. Let's see what they've said. So, what the headlines? The headlines. PM declares lockdown. There you go. Only allowed to leave home if essential.
What does that mean? How vague can you be? Is that not essential to the period of time, to the person? And then you're going to get stopped. And did you see, I don't know if you watched the stream I watched the Sky news stream, right? And they stated that, well, he may announce that, actions like France, and he stopped himself. And he went, oh, just wait and see. I don't know if anybody else picks up on that. But he was going to tell you that people are getting stopped and asked for papers in the street in France.
Well, for that story. Yeah. It were people calling for it. Is people who perhaps they were working in hospitals or they were working in. They'd have a piece of paper. They'd have a pass, so they could show the piece of paper, so they could be out. That were in France. Yeah, that were about a week ago. I saw that.
Well, they put it. There's extreme. All this were happening in China. Don't want it, like we were saying last night. They're scanning people and everything over there, man. They've all got their own integrated ID system within their own. They have like one social network type affair. But now, like for example, your national insurance number is all included in that and stuff. So it's literally a police state over there at the minute. Well, so it seems from what we can see on the news and whatnot, not mainstream news,
No, we're not going to get it from mainstream news, are we?
No.
Arriving back in 9 hours. Where is it? Oh, it's somewhere over. Well,
is he like it's on NORAD, like Father Christmas?
Well, yeah, it's like a thing. It's a flight tracker. You put his flight number in. And it tells you where it is. Now, where is he? I think he's somewhere over.
Ask him, can he see the curvature of the Earth from up there?
They only use fishbowl glass windows anyway, so
I know, right?
you can't do that. You can't do that. Fish eye, not fish bowl. Fish eye or fish bowl. Bowl, I suppose, would work. Yeah, it's somewhere anyway. I think it's over somewhere far away. If anyone can tell me where that is, let me see if I can zoom in.
What do you reckon? What do you reckon? Is there anything in that Boris Johnson's dad's applied to be a French citizen?
I've no idea, mate. I did read that.
Yeah. I wonder why.
Dean Yates just said the stock market's still going down. Crypto rising.
So there'll be a lot of put options and stuff going on there as well.
Everybody knows everybody's printing money. What else can it do? Is there a possibility that cash becomes useless, what we've got now? So they issue bonds and rations to get us through this awful period and then bring in a new currency?
That's what I'm thinking.
Is that a possibility?
But what better way to issue bonds and rations, bonds and stuff than to put money? What a simpler way just to put money, credits into somebody's bank account. Just do it flat. Everyone gets like £1,000 a month or something. I don't know what they're thinking about. I mean, that would be easier, wouldn't it, than having to go down and having a thing here. But a fucking easy is not exactly this government's forte, is it?
Well, even just explaining everything in general is, it's a travesty, isn't it? I mean, every single press conference I've had, it's been so. I mean, not even blunt. Just there is no. Every single person after they've watched it is still asking questions, man. Even with what he said tonight, still people are going to be going out. Some guy said a minute ago, about what is essential to travel. Is dogging essential. I just clocked it in comments then.
Is that super leads any chance?
Well, fucking hell, that's another one of Aidy's pursuits fucking done for summer, innit?
I'll tell you what, he's not going to come back an happy man, is he? At all.
Well, read that one there, Nick GB. My uncle died from sepsis 2 weeks ago, and they have slapped coronavirus complications on his death. Wow.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? They're very, very, how can you put it? Very flexible with the truth. When my mum passed, she had an operation for a perforated ulcer, which is what they said she died from. But the operation itself went really well. And the factor is that she got MRSA from a guy in the ward, and then they isolated him, but they could never stitch my mum back up. My mum had COPD, and that was it. But on the death certificates, it was it was a perforated ulcer, which was wrong. So I know they can be very, very.
Well, even more so now. I mean, apparently they passed a law where they don't even have to physically examine the body or even see the body. Just to send them off for cremation or whatever. Even that cremation law they passed,
Mate, we talked about this last night. There's councils now establishing their own crematoriums. Then they'll have their own funeral services. So there you've got the council linked directly to the hospital.
Well, it's funny, right? Because I literally have about 7,000 people who follow the stuff what I do, and not a single one of them literally knows anyone who's actually got it. Do you guys know anyone who's got it?
No.
Well, if I'm being honest, where I work and everything, we all went through it. Some of us had really bad symptoms and everything, but we all had these kind of symptoms from early December all the way through into Christmas and into January. So
yeah, I did have some symptoms.
That's a very common consensus as well.
That I was on steroids about a month back because I really could not breathe, man. And I've never
There
had
were a
that
lot
in
of
my
it
life.
about though, weren't they? My stepson, he had a quite a bad do around about Christmas time, so there were a lot of it about, and you know, it's a bug's gone round. There's a bug going round, you know, where if you're from up here, there's a bug going round. Everyone knows, all school kids know, they all get bug and that's it. They all go back to fucking school. Fucking a few fucking pansies down south realise that some of their fucking friends have decided that there's going to be this virus, and everyone's out buying bog rolls for fucking no reason. It was like it's what I still. And I keep repeating this, but it flabbergasted me. It does.
Mate, I got bog roll. Got bog roll on my way home today, mate.
What worry about a fucking $8.99 a roll?
What's it?
Do you know what? No, he's decent. I go to the local lad. I'm mates with him, so he's letting me know what's happening with his opening hours and stuff like that. And when his stocks are in, I get stuff put to one side. Because I don't need, I never go for big shops or anything like that. So why would I start now?
Well, I have to with having kids and that, you know what I mean? So it's.
Well, I know how much bog roll I go through, you know what I mean? So I don't need 75,000 bog rolls.
Well, you know what you're going to be? It's going to be, back in my day, I remember when you used to be able to go out, have a couple of pints at your local, fish and chips on the way home, and still have enough bog roll left to wipe your arse after you've had it. You know what I mean? It's
the thing is, do you want to be? Who'd want to be sat there when your kid turns around and says, "Where were you when martial law were implemented, Dad?"
Well, I'm on an Only Feels and Horses page, and someone put a meme up, and it was Uncle Albert during the coronavirus. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You say during the coronavirus one more time, I'm going to kill you. During the 2020 COVID-19 outbreak.
Quality. It's got to be my favourite show of all time, man. Easily.
Well, I had to watch Dolly Boys Outing yesterday because I was just fucking so depressed at one point.
I've seen every show easy 20 times, man. Easily.
Of what? Of what, sorry?
Only Feels and Horses, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Crazy. Yeah. I went to Magaluf, and I've spent half the holiday sat in the open Only Feels and Horses bar there.
Yeah. Quality.
I wonder if they're open, you know, because you know it's like when you get. Imagine if they're not open in Thailand, and people are going back.
Benidorm shut last week, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I think it might have been. Mind you, I'm lost in my days. It might have been Friday, Saturday, but yeah, they're definitely shut. There was a mate of mine who's in Krakow. They'd gone over there and spent 48 hours in their hotel room. That was it. Nice.
Someone's just put there UK police updates of everyone involved in criminal activity during the outbreak. Due to the implementation of social distancing measures, would everyone being chased by police officers remember to leave us? Please don't sue me again. I thought it was a serious one then.
Well, you've got a fucking
nice one, Gary. Nice one.
You've got to laugh. You've got to laugh, though, haven't you? I mean, it's just the situation's so ridiculous. I mean, I've got my you know when you said earlier on, do you know anybody who's got coronavirus? And I said no, but I fucking know tons of people that've got hypochondria.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm fucking scared. Oh, what if I had a bit of a thing? I might have coronavirus. No, you've got hypochondria. Oh, no,
that is how as well. Good the technique they've used is, man. They've literally put the entire population in complete fear. You know, that's gotta be a master plan. You know, when you see other diseases. You know, there's been worse than this, obviously, even in our lifetimes, man.
I always said though, if all these big media firms all broadcast at the same time a spaceship and and then cut to Donald Trump and Boris talking to General Glog from Planet Blur, You know,
It'll be transfixed and just buy it.
Well, everybody believes in this dream, this mainstream thing. Everybody's still plugged into that. And it's like me and Jason have always said that until something shakes you out of that, you tend to stay into it. I mean, you can check on things and drift in and out, but there's certain things that, you know, kick you in the balls and punch you in the face so fucking hard that you go, whoa, there's something serious going on here. And you've got to, you know, I don't know what else to say. How bad does it have to get? I mean, this is very, very slowly. It's
like an Hollywood movie, isn't it? Literally. It's like an Hollywood movie played out before our very eyes.
And they're all shite. There's not even any good movies anymore.
Well, no. We've had the Walking Dead.
We've had them all. I mean,
you know what I mean?
I can't even. You know what? I can't even watch The Walking Dead. Costa's closed now.
What, were you going to rent it? Huh? Were you going to rent it on video?
No, mate. I used to just sit in Costa with my coffee and just watch people walk past, and you see everything that's going on there. And you know, it's like we were talking about a guy earlier. People have opinions and they're not really switched on, and then you've got the people who genuinely worry about all this stuff. People who are close to me are panicking like mad because of how this is being propagated. There's you see the shelves getting emptied. You see now an open prison system being initiated for however long, but I've never known us get things back. Will we get things back out?
But have you not noticed though? My mate who works for the courts, they're doing video trials and stuff like that now, but they're also introducing, you know, look at some of the countries who are trying to deal with this outbreak. They're introducing digital measures of coping with it and whatnot. And we're all being forced into this, right? Don't speak to your family, you know, speak to them online. And we're being pushed into this virtual state. And it's, you know, literally, well, it's like being pushed into the Matrix, man, you know? When you think about it, literally, and I'm wondering if all these laws they're passing and, you know, the current conditions we're having to live under are ever going to let up.
Well, they're asking you to stay away from your family. And they're asking you in a way that they're telling you to stay away from your family. It's you know, I think it's quite sinister.
Well, Boris worked in a private room today, wasn't he, as well, when he did his talk?
He was, yeah.
Something very, very sinister going on. I read
that maybe because he didn't want COVID. He didn't want COVID.
Did he not?
That were pre-recorded, right? That were recorded like yonks ago. Not yonks ago, but today earlier on, he's done about 4 times. He's done that, and they've gone, no, actually, Boris, no, you can't.
Mind you could be right, you know, Jason, because as it finished on Sky, it went live on RT. So you could be right there.
Yeah, it went straight live from Sky.
Yeah, I watched it live on Sky, but when that finished on RT, it went live then at that point. Online on my feed anyway.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, what he's not saying is just as fucking much as what he is saying. You know, he's saying stop it. It's just saying crap. Stopping. You know, this is coming from that fucking Dominic. Dominic, what's his face? He was responsible for Dominic Cummings. He was responsible for the Brexit bus, you know, the £350 million we'll give to the NHS each month instead of each week or whatever. He was responsible for that, and he knew it weren't accurate, but he knew it'd have the impact.
Well, what an absolute load of bollocks all that was, though, as well, man, you know? And it makes you wonder what's going on behind the scenes when all that's being put on the mainstream news and that, you know, to try and make us turn a blind eye to whatever else is going on. It's just an absolute joke.
But it's put together as like a collage of subliminals, or if you like, all these images and all this rhetoric keep being repeated and repeated for people who haven't. Yeah, for people who haven't got time to go and look at other things and compare things and aren't really interested in stuff like that because their life isn't being affected, then it's perfectly well. But we're watching a court jester, and a court jester has just announced open prison conditions.
Literally. So.
That's amazing. People said, "Oh well, it's not really lockdown because you can go to work." Well, so you can do it at Cat D.
I reckon in a couple months' time, even a year, you're going to hear stories of people whose family got COVID, but they hadn't spoke to them for a few months, and they never. Trust me, people are going to start. I honestly believe. I know it sounds a bit extreme, yeah, but all the stuff I've seen over the years and some of the atrocities and the way that the government works, there's obviously a 1% controlling the governments and whatnot, and then it goes down from there. But I truly believe that this is some kind of culling.
It's what they've talked about. Things are unfolding to show that. It's definitely man-made. It's released one way or another. Some people think it's from a bat suit. Some think it's accidental. Some think it's on purpose. Whoever that is, I don't know. I mean,
takes over the globe and is preying only on the people who are worthless to the government.
But you've still got all the same mistakes, if you like. You brought up about the cameraman who had ordinary clothing on filming the commentator who's in a full hazmat suit.
Yeah.
You have all that shit going on with the Skripals. Where it's come off a door handle and this copper's got it, and nobody else, and this is like deadly poison that you're not really. You could just drop dead with this stuff.
Yeah, but isn't there not a certain one that shows that viruses can't survive outside of the body?
Well, they're saying this can survive
9 hours or something on metals and stuff like that, aren't they? I don't know. I mean, I'm no scientist, so don't quote me.
They're saying this one, like I think I heard something like on cardboard for days. It's 7-9 days, something like that. So, but we don't know. I think that's the biggest fear factor for a lot of people. There's not a lot coming out.
As Amazon shut down, if you can stop on cardboard for 7 to 9 days, as Amazon shut down, will Amazon be forced to shut down?
Who knows, mate? You would think so, wouldn't you?
No, but considering become one of the ones who's shipping your goddamn food to you, mate.
Considering Amazon delivered to us at work today, I'd say not.
It's going to be goodbye, high street businessman and small business company, and hello,
this is what you can buy.
Yeah, it's just corporate stores all over the shop, man. Like, look at all the retail parks that have popped up in the past few years. These giant retail parks with particular shops that are literally part of a global family. And, you see the pubs and clubs closing, small businesses closing. We've been being led down this path for years, man. There is an agenda, and it is playing out before our very eyes. And it's too late for any fucker to do anything about it because everyone's fast to fucking sleep. Simple.
Are they going to wake up now? Is this the fucking alarm call? Is it because I can see it where people have been stuck in for a couple of weeks. Let's just say 3 weeks, a month. Let's just say for a month. People have been stuck in for a month. Now, what if they're not in their immediate family or their immediate circle of friends? What if they're not seeing the results that we're told to expect? I mean, I was looking just as one of you were talking. UK virus deaths rise 55 in one day to hit 336. And I mean, there's probably more people killed on road.
Exactly.
Or by bee stings or in accidents at work. Well, probably not yesterday because fucking no come on road or nobody were allowed out anyway. So after a month of seeing this and nobody having any personal experience of it, people just going to go, hang on a minute, fuck this. take a little shekels off and let's just go and meet in town. You know what social media is like? They blamed BlackBerry Messenger for riots in 2011. I mean, do you think that's a possibility? And secondly, do you think that that's what they're banking on?
They're banking on. No, they're not banking on anything. They know that 75% of Joe Public is just completely and utterly at their fucking command. It's as simple as that. How many people sit there just transfixed to their TVs watching the mainstream news, man? People are out there now literally begging for lockdown. And they haven't got a fucking clue what it entails, man.
No.
I don't understand how they can honestly watch the news and not see anything sinister going on.
It's loads can.
One piece of good news is one of my wife's friends, who we've known for years, her daughter goes to one of the primary schools and she's on free dinners. And as a result of her not being able to go to school, they are sending food parcels home for the kids that are on free dinners. So I think that were probably, I hope there's more of this shit that goes on, because, more communities come together and realise that the answers that they're looking for are local rather than national, and all these bright lights and shit that they fucking shine in us faces. Then the better, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it doesn't even have to be everybody. It's just as long as there's a bigger fucking community, of people that are trying to start to understand what is really going on.
Yeah. A mass awakening.
A mass awakening. We need a mass fucking alarm clock. Fucking get up. It's fucking locked down. That's the thing, though. People don't have to, do they? They don't have to wake up. They ain't got to go to work. They ain't got to do all. They ain't got to wake up. They ain't got to get out of bed. They've got to do fuck all. If they've got food in their house and, fags knocking about or whatever, it's not going to hit until, like I say, get about a month, and then people can't get hold of this, stuff that they've been so used to being able to get hold of. And then they're told time and time again that it's, this is for the good of the people. It's to save the NHS. It's to stop people going out. And if we look at them numbers are incredibly small. Even if we suspect they're being fabricated in some way, they're being massaged in some way, so that, you get an incident where a man died of coronavirus today after his car left the M62. Like yesterday, or a man died of coronavirus today after being shot twice in the head.
I wonder when Epstein will die then. Because he's contracting it now, isn't he?
Who's that?
That's Weinstein. That's Weinstein.
Yeah, that's it.
Weinstein. Weinstein. Epstein's probably got it and all.
Very, very strange times we're living in, guys.
I was speechless watching good old Boris. He's very stern. I mean, I believed him, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Believed him to what extent, though? What do you mean? What believed? He what?
Believed everything he said. That you've got to stay in, and he's going to implement these things, and it's like a step. It's a step forward. It depends on how we react, I suppose. If people go along with this stuff, it might.
Maybe this is the test. This is the trial run.
Test bed, yeah, it could be. I haven't got a clue. It's pretty much uncharted waters for me. It's
for everyone, isn't it, man? I mean, no one's ever gone through this in a lifetime.
Historically, I can go and look. I can compare. But things are changing daily, hourly. Weird.
Minutely. Secondly.
Millisecondly.
We could go on forever and ever and ever, couldn't we, mate?
It's a negativity.
Let's just say hello to some people in the chat room. Element Vickers in there. Wah ha ha ha. Don't know what that means. Nick GB. Good evening to you, Apple Charlotte. Welcome along as usual. Always welcome here. As I christened her, the most complained about mod that we have. She gets the most emails I get complaining about her. But like I said, the mods do the modding, and I don't care about them.
That probably just means she's doing a good job there, eh?
That's what I mean. So she obviously is doing a good job. So good evening to you. Cider Guy's in there, Bright 77. Good evening to you. Made up name backwards. Didn't get me this time. I tried to say it like last time. E-man from you, bubble up there. George is in there as well. And I think we've got a pretty good waiting room. Chat room in there. Hopefully everyone's staying 2 meters apart. Is it 2 meters now or 1? Because it were 1 yesterday. It might have to be 2 today. Oh, and my lift started to be made today. As you can see, it's got about half a day's work that left needs doing to it. It's beautiful. It works and everything. This is one of the pillows. I'll show you. There's not really much to see, but can you see up there? That's the hole where the lift comes down, and it comes down, and then it takes me upstairs in my wheelchair, which is where my studio will be from. Well, if they've done it tomorrow, it'll be from tomorrow night. So
quality. Well, if you don't mind me asking, how did you lose the leg?
I've got an underlying condition where my blood clots really easily, and I've had blood clots in my left and my right leg, and my left one went in 2018, and then last year I had to have a couple of operations to save my right one. So which they did. So much credit to them. Eventually, after 3 fucking 6-hour operations, and that's the funny thing as well. I was watching fucking George Galloway, and something got me to click on a George Galloway thing that popped up on Facebook. And you know what? It was interviewing the guy who did my first bypass. He was interviewing the surgeon that did my first bypass on this leg this year. Fucking thought to me saying, if I'd have known that cunt were a conspiracy theorist, I would have never let him near me fucking face.
So what is that? Is that like sort of like DVT or something like that?
Yeah, well, I get ischemias. It's right. My arteries block up. I've got ischemic arteries.
Right, I've never heard of it, to be honest with you. Never heard of that one.
I've had 2 heart attacks. I've had a leg amputated. I've had a couple of strokes, and
fell down an embankment, nearly fell into a lake.
Yeah. Oh, I rolled me mobility scooter the other week down an embankment, and I mean a really proper steep, like 200-foot embankment.
Was that on the way back from the pub then?
No, I was trying to stay away. Well, you know what I was trying to do? I was trying to stay away from the football scores because Wednesday we're getting hammered at home. I'm a Sheffield Wednesday fan.
Right,
we were getting hammered at home, and I thought, fuck this, I'm going out. And I went out, and I went to one at local parks with dog, and this woman come along with her 2 dogs, didn't want to get out of the way. I was trying to go round her, and I lost balance and went over and rolled and rolled and rolled and rolled and rolled and rolled. Then fell out of my scooter and carried on rolling down. I looked up to Tom. She looked at me and fucking walked off. Walked back where she come. I couldn't believe it. Some dog walkers found me about 10 minutes later. And I had to be lifted out. It were, oh, Jesus Christ.
That George there, he says, ischemic arteries sounds like an 80s electro band.
Yeah. They would have been good and all, I reckon.
Yeah, they probably would be.
There'd been a lot of screaming, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, but scary times, man.
Yeah, absolutely scary times. I'm hoping they're going to turn up tomorrow morning and not like think, well, fucking Boris just says we've got to go home, because they're in an hotel tonight. I think one's from down south and one's from fucking Birmingham. So they're stopping in a hotel tonight and they're coming back to finish it in the morning. Hopefully they didn't go see Boris at 8:30 and think, yay, fuck it, we can go home now and go home. Because I've got this to finish. But
just make sure you're coughing your bollocks off when they pitch you up and see how they react.
Listen,
did you see that the police have arrested 3 lads for pretending to cough into an old couple's face?
Yeah, well, I seen something about that Tommy Robinson the other day. Apparently, he intervened on someone coughing in someone's face. Did something like that.
He did, but the Standard reported it as a passerby. A passerby, not Tommy Robinson. I found that interesting.
Oh, so they tried to play Tommy, did they?
No, Tommy Robinson did actually intercede, and he ended up, shall we say, dancing with these people. And they started kicking fuck out of his car and everything. He went to get out again. He had his kid in the car with him. It's on video. It's on Joe.
Yeah, I've seen the video. I've seen it, man. I think Gary's in there. He's just said, I have it on good intel that the courts are not dealing with low-level crimes now, such as robberies and shoplifting. So it's never been a better time to commit crime.
Well, it hasn't been anyway, has it? For a long time, it's never been a better time to commit crime.
Well,
I mean, there's so little detection. Everything is based upon catching motorists, seizing money, making,
getting your car on those lines.
Yeah. Don't call me a cunt. That sort of thing. You can't take a joke these days, can the coppers? Okay, just wait till I'm on my mobility scooter and they're chasing me. And and I turn it up to 8 miles an hour. They'll think they'll catch in on me, and then I'll just turn it up to 8 miles an hour. Eat dust, motherfuckers.
I seen a thing where someone put like a jet engine on back of a mobility scooter, man. Jesus, sure seen it flying down this runway, mate. You need to get yourself one of them, man.
I intend to at some point.
When the army come in the front door at yours, Jason, is it going to be like Thunderbirds where you're there ready on your lift, and as they kick the door in, you go straight up into the bedroom and escape?
But it goes up like half a mile an hour with the Tesco elevator music on.
No, he goes and he shoots up into the raccoon jet and escapes from where it's coming.
Doc's an evil job.
Instead, what I'll do is I'll just.
1 million.
I'd love to stop officers, but I've got a terrible cough. Going along and then stopping, and then they'll be walking up, and then they'd stop when they're 2 meters away, and then I'd carry on, and then they'd come chasing me, and then they'd stop 2 meters away. Give yourself.
And then when your batteries run out, you just all stand there for 4 hours fucking talking shit.
Well, who's that other dude? See, I heard someone the other day talking about the army. We're bringing the army in to help distribute supplies to the NHS and whatnot, but I've heard nothing further on that. I keep seeing posts of people showing, the army's here and there, but, one of the posts, the cars had like German number plates, and another one, the cars were on the other side of the road and whatnot. So I don't know, man.
If everybody's going to work, it needs to work anyway, because they're on about they were shutting retail shops and electrical shops as well now, weren't they? That was in the what he's just said as well, Jason, wasn't it?
Well, he said that only the police, they've given the police the power to quarantine, arrest people and quarantine them, if they're just out and about doing whatever. But there is not enough police to cover the amount of people who are just not going to listen to what they're saying.
It depends what day it is, because our police station's on one night a week, and we sometimes have 2 coppers on at a night time.
No, there's not enough coverage of the police, is there, at all? I think it's inevitable that the army are going to be on streets. I mean, I thought it was going to be like they'd be manning the hospitals, supermarkets, and all that business. But But I
I've
don't know.
heard that the Navy is readying themselves for the prison service in case prison officers go off. The Navy's readying themselves, but the Navy never put themselves in large numbers in small confined spaces, do they?
Well, my mate just said there, Gary Clarkey, I told you about my mate's lad, didn't I? Being brought back from Germany. He's being moved 48 hours to Bristol. 200,000 expected. Wow.
Yeah, I got it, Webby. I got that joke. Confined spaces one. See what I mean? But you see, in the prisons, they'll probably are hoping it's submariners so that they'll go down on them.
Certainly a lot of seamen involved.
You dirty bastard.
Oh, it'll be a wash, it'll be a wash.
But did you not see, someone sent it me today, did you not see Shelby Browns crawled out the woodwork and released a song, My Corona?
No, but somebody was
done a cover of it, hasn't he?
Yeah, somebody was going to do it. Might as well be Chubbs.
Well, Bono brought a song out, didn't he? Our saviour.
What a twat. What a twat.
Geldof will be crawling out soon, won't he? Jesus.
Couldn't believe it. Didn't he go live on a stream?
I just honestly, I wouldn't have been tuning in, put it that way.
Somebody said he's going live on a stream. Somebody clicked the stream, says, don't click this. It said Bono's going live at such a time. Here's the stream. Don't click on it, though, because it's a virus. It will actually put you straight through to his living room. Fucking, I can't believe that he comes out the woodwork for something like this.
I know, yeah.
There's a lot of questions about this, and the same old faces.
I know. All the celebrities, though, are doing these little casts from their living rooms or their places of safety. It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
It is.
Well, I mean, isn't it the case that viruses breed in enclosed environments? Like, is it not true that if we're out in the sun, that the rays of the sun and whatnot kill viruses and all that? Like, are we not incubating ourselves? Potentially killing ourselves.
If you look at the old history photographs, that when they've been treating flu en masse like that, they always took them outside into the sun.
Yeah.
So, but why else do? I mean, they're doing the best to poison and manipulate you in every which way. Now you're all stuck indoors. I mean, I don't know. There's not many families I know that can spend like more than a couple of days, maybe 2 weeks, I suppose. But even then, you get sick of each other and you go in different directions. Stuck in. I don't know what's going to happen.
I don't want to know, mate. I really don't.
Well, I've got a lift. I'm all right because I've got a lift, so if me and Danielle are having an argument, I can storm out very slowly upwards.
But what happens, Jason, when you get to the top and then you go, and another thing, you've got to wait for another 5 minutes to come back.
Oh, he's forgot his fags.
Oh, she's unplugged the fucker when I've got up there.
Are you on the weed, you there, Jay? Are you on the weed?
Yeah, I'm on, yeah. Gotta be, well, you've got to be, yeah. I mean,
it does you better than the prescribed pain relief, doesn't it?
Oh,
to a certain extent.
Better.
Yeah.
Tons better. I've got plenty of prescribed painkillers, but I've had my legs been quite bad. In fact, I might still have a picture I could show you, actually. Let me see if it's still on here. No, I got rid of it. It was too gross. Here it is.
So what was it like? Your leg actually kind of died in a certain extent to, like, is that what it was? Or
yeah. I'll show you. This would, bear in mind, this is with my fucking remaining my last leg. There you go.
Jesus Christ.
And that's
like necrosis is set in, isn't it?
Yeah, well, actually, a lot of this necrosis on this big patch here has gone at this point. And that's quite a few weeks into recovery.
So that is the leg that has been saved.
That's the leg that's been saved, yeah.
Wow. because I seen a drug that came out a couple of years ago. I think it might have been in Russia or somewhere like that, called crocodile. Don't know if you ever saw that. And that is the actual effect that it had on your body. I seen a woman who half of her face had developed necrosis, and she was speaking, but you could literally see the bottom half of the skeleton of her face. Proper. You know, it was it was that actually.
Stuff, that drug.
But Jesus, that must have I mean, I don't know. You don't seem to be depressed or miserable or anything, Jay. Did it not scare you, that, mate? I mean, you know, if that happened to me, mate, I'd be I don't know, man. I won't be as cheerful as you seem to be.
Well, I've got no else. See, nah. I'm not walking marathons or running marathons or doing all this year. What can I do? I can't do fuck all about it. It's not like it's something that's been inflicted on myself, right? If it was self-inflicted, I'd feel fucking gutted. I've spent a lot of my life. Right up until for many years in my life. I spent traveling all over the world. I've been and I've done things and I've seen places. Yeah. And so I'm not one of them people that's never fucking been out of Sheffield. So you know, I feel quite lucky. I feel quite lucky to be able to say that it's not somebody else who perhaps hasn't done anything
and wasted. I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? So it just
I'd take me hat off to you, mate. To be honest with you, you know, I'd probably be right down in the dumps if it was me, you know, something like that happened to me. So, take me out for you for having that attitude.
Well, it's been a couple of years now, hasn't it, Webby? And we've always been all right, haven't we?
Yeah.
I've had some great support as well, people that listen to this show, you know, and people, friends and stuff like that. So it's all been good. Yeah. Listen, we wanted to do an hour. I mean, what, are you all right for another 10, 15 minutes or something?
I'm easy, mate. I'm easy, man. It's not like I'm going out and out, is it? I'm not going Bob, man, so fire away.
I can do another 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, and I'm going to get off because I'm a key worker, mate. I'm a key worker.
All right. Well, we'll get another 15 minutes. Well, we've got about 13 minutes now. We'll get another 15 minutes, and then we'll say au revoir to you for this evening. Tomorrow night, I've got Mark Conlon on. He's supposed to be coming on talking about his paper that he's written on Flight 93, but I think things might have overtaken that. We'll get some of that Flight 93 stuff in as well, because I think it's always going to be good to break up this fucking coronavirus shit. I know we do try to make light of it, but it can be depressing for some people. Don't fucking get depressed. And somebody had somebody also had the idea of there's a couple of Skype groups that go about that you know, a lot of the people that are in that go into our chat room and go into other chat rooms have started a few Skype groups up. So if you want to email me your Skype, if you're feeling, you know, you might feeling a bit isolated and you just want to go in and have a bit of fun and what have you, if you email me your Skype address, then I will pass that on to them, and you know, we can keep people together, and at least you're knowing that there's some other people out there that are thinking this in a similar way to you. So anyway, this last 15 minutes, guys, where do you want to be? Where do you want to go? Is there all you want to get off your chest?
I think we pretty much have, haven't we? You know, through tonight and last night's streams. But I don't know, man. It's.
I think keep talking, innit? It is also, you know, where they keep saying keep safe. Our motto should be keep talking. Keep talking.
Definitely. This is one of the best ways that we can, you know, get through it. Yeah. Well, I heard, I saw one of the reports. Well, I think it was a Sun report that said they're going to be rationing bandwidth within the next couple of weeks, so that access to Corona websites and whatnot is easier for people.
I know that Netflix, they're streaming in something like HD
360p or something. Yeah. This is it, mate. This is that point where all the conspiracy theorists who've had all their different conspiracies and whatnot, but certain parts of them key into one another's. This is that great big lockdown and tightening of people's freedoms. You know, it's literally here, man, and I'm not even surprised.
Well, I still, you know, until you see it, I don't suppose it's going to be real for anybody, is it? Until people see
until
that
it's too late.
And then, you know, the factor is if you're seeing it on the streets and you're calling for it, then what about if that does turn? What if that doesn't? I mean, life's changed no matter what.
Yeah.
It's just what will it fall back to? We never get what is taken.
It's never going to go back to what it was. And some of these laws and restrictions are going to stay in place. No question about it.
What about that there that's coming from Telford City?
Can you see that?
There we go. There we go. That's my mate. That's my mate. He's a public sector worker, if you will. So anything he says is it's going to be legit, you know. Clarky live from Portland down. I'm actually streaming my part of the stream from an old ROC post I infiltrated a few years back. That's one thing that comes in handy in my line of work, eh, Paul?
Oh yeah, yeah. You certainly are. You're certainly good at stuff like that.
I know a few military bunkers.
Well, anyway,
I've got enough bog roll.
The what?
I've seen enough bog roll in them.
No, there's a couple of dock leave fields nearby, so good. Mother Nature's finest.
You never need a bog roll if you've got a bus ticket.
Oh, right.
You can't go out. How are you going to get a bus ticket, mate?
You might have an old one.
I don't know where this goes. You know, from here, it's like I said, it's unprecedented. We just sit here and we speculate, don't we? I mean, they're not going to tell us everything, and they're certainly only going to tell us what they want us to know. But they're certainly going to test for the reaction of people. I mean, if they took the internet off, people would go nuts. If they took TV off, people would just go literally nuts. If there was nothing on the phones or their iPads and phones.
Oh man, there'd be mass hysteria. No one, half of the people out there can't even cook without referring to Google, man. You know what I mean? Some of these kids, if it truly got to the point where all the electric went and everything like that, half of them don't even know how to light a fire.
Mass suicide.
Oh, no question about it. No question. That is coming. There's no doubt, man.
Yep. Listen, my one last little point. I think we can fill this last 7 minutes in with this. Well, I'm fucking hoping you can. But my wife came up with a decent enough question earlier on. She said to me, what is happening with coronavirus in Russia? And
I know.
And secondly, and more importantly for me, she said, what is going on with coronavirus in Iceland?
I've heard nothing on Russia.
One death or one.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. It's either one death or one infection. I can't remember which it was, but the figure was one for Russia.
Wow.
So that's Russia. Wow.
Bit. I don't know, man. I don't know what to think about that.
Let's have a look.
Maybe they have the borders closed. Maybe they don't just, maybe it's
they
not
are
been released there.
They're kind of partly in Asia and whatnot, and I don't know, man.
Maybe some of these people that we've seen that are infected are like those crisis actors that don't exist.
Well, I'll tell you now, all the people I've seen infected on news, I've not actually seen their faces to actually identify a single one of them.
Do you know what? I'm sure there are people bloody dying. But the thing is,
I'm not saying that. I'm not like.
Yeah, I get you.
That,
but this is being propagated, and an agenda coming, and legislation being passed that is being drafted. Legislation can be drafted quickly, but this is like very, very quickly.
Mm.
And they are spacing it out so it doesn't look like it's all pre-planned.
Well,
it
can't not be, can it? It can't not be.
I just did a search, COVID-19 Iceland, and it said record numbers of queues have been growing outside.
I've got it before you've said it.
But anyway, apparently 406 cases in Iceland. 406 cases.
Oh, there is. So what's the lowdown on Russia then?
I don't know about Russia. Let's try that one.
So you can get the figure because I'm sure it was an article on Russia on it.
Russia. Russia.
I haven't seen much on Putin, I must admit, recently.
Yeah, Cider guy says barely any named fingers with this. No surprise there. No, there's not. Not at all. But is there ever?
Russia, Vladimir Putin, he's said this week his country managed to stop the mass spread of coronavirus.
And how did he do that then?
I think he did it with some fucking. He wrestled a few bears on back of an horse. Under control thanks to early and aggressive measures to keep the people from getting.
And what were these measures though? I've not heard anything about it. They did. Matt G says sorry guys. He says they locked down the borders straight away. I never saw anything on that.
I've not seen much about Russia, to be fair on it. But Putin's not as good as I forgot what it said now. Never mind.
No, but yeah.
That was it. Kim Jong-un. He's not as good as Kim Jong-un. He went into the jungle and found a unicorn's lair and came riding out the jungle on a unicorn. Everybody in North Korea believed that.
The dude's a massive fan of Disney, isn't he? Didn't he visit Disneyland or something like that?
Listen, if you were in fucking North Korea, you'll believe that.
Yeah.
Well, that's what a nation of people believe in that. And so how hard is it if you wanted to fool a nation, how hard is it?
Well, it's not hard at all, is it? You've done it loads of times, haven't they?
Well, it's easy though when you've integrated yourself into such a high state of power over the years and nobody's noticed. Once you're already at the top, then there's now that anyone can do about it. It's that 1%, isn't it? It's the old saying, knowledge is power, and it's too late. Too late for Joe Public. You know?
Well, what's happened to Joe? He was on your show the other day.
Where weren't he? Yeah, it's over for him.
Not for me, Gary. Not for me, Gary, on your last comment there, brother. Salford guy.
All right.
Self-mutilation it'll be next, won't it? Self-fucking masturbation, self-mutilation. There'll be public service because they won't. No one's going to pay for advertising anymore. So it'll say there'll be adverts coming on saying, during the lockdown, it may be in your interest to masturbate to relieve tension.
It could be.
I think that was the first line of Shelby Browns' song. You know, if you're going to isolate and masturbate,
it could be like Idiocracy, like you said, Clarky.
Mate, it is. I mean, look at the president. We've already got that president, really, haven't we? You know, this reality TV show president. Yeah, that's what it was, wasn't it? You know,
all of it looks very pantomime-ish. It really does. So it is,
man. It's just a big movie.
Well, it's not even that. Do you know what? Like I said before, there's not even any good films I've not seen a good film for such a long time. You know, it's all the same old shit with the same old cliches. I sat and watched that last Star Wars, Rise of Skywalker, and the cliches in that were just unbelievable.
I haven't bothered. There was a big thing about that
No,
Ghostbusters film, wasn't there, being an all female cast and all this woke
I
bollocks.
won't watch it. I won't watch it.
I don't think I've watched the recent. I don't even watch recent movies, to be honest with you. I'm into the old school fucking George A. Romero and John Carpenter films, and proper movies. When movies were movies and new and fresh ideas, man. Apparently, the last thing I heard about a film is the remaking the fucking Warriors. Why bother?
You can't remake the Warriors. The Warriors has its place in legendary.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It does, man.
You can't fucking remake Ghostbusters, Jesus.
Exactly.
That's why I won't watch it, mate.
It's going to be Enter the fucking Dragon next, starring Conor McGregor, isn't it?
Fuck yeah. Fucking and some fucking actress bent as the dragon. It'll be a fucking porno. Oh, fucking Jesus.
They're going to pay 70 million for him, though. He only does it for 70 million.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who's that? Oh, Conor McGregor? I don't know who he is. In MMA or something like that? Or,
yeah, UFC, mate. UFC.
Yeah. He did some boxing and all, didn't he? I think did fake Floyd Mayweather.
Listen to me, mate. I watch boxing and UFC religiously. I know for a fact when I'm watching a staged fight, that was not a real boxing match. It just wasn't. It was fucking ridiculous. It was, honestly. Embarrassing.
Yeah.
There was a lot of money involved in that. An awful lot of money.
Speaking of which, I noticed the Simpsons movie was on Sunday.
Yeah.
Was it?
Well, it's funny. It's funny. I wonder if any of this Corona stuff has popped up in past episodes of The Simpsons, because I've seen a lot of that. You remember the 9/11 thing, Paul?
The chat. Oh yeah, mate.
Well, they had up a bill, didn't they, or something? It said 9 and 11.
There's a Chinese virus. There's a Chinese virus that gets spread. Homer contracts it and spreads it.
Oh, is there? Right.
And it's a Chinese virus because it shows the Chinese guy's packaging and he coughs into the box as they seal it. And Homer opens it in Springfield and then nails it. I forget what flu they called it. Hong Kong flu. I don't know. I can't remember what they called it on there.
No, it's the Chinese flu because it's from China. You see Trump the other day.
The best one I heard, Clark, it was Kung Flu.
Yeah, Kung Flu.
Everybody's Kung Flu fighting. Kung Flu fighting.
It's going to come out soon, isn't it? It's going to come out, that tune.
Well, everyone's Kung Flu fighting in fucking supermarkets, but fucking Hades Kung Fu flighting.
But yeah, those bog rolls as fast as lightning, mate.
I ought to get one of them when I was on fucking plane.
It's going to be out in a couple of weeks, that, mate. I'm telling you.
Anyway, we've gone over his time. I think we were going to do an hour. We've done nearly 20 minutes after hour. And Webby's got to get up tomorrow morning, and he's an important key worker, and he's going to be keeping the roads and the system running for us. So we thank you for that, and we all pray at your table. Listen, thanks very much to you. Thanks a lot as well joining us, Clark.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Enjoyed it, man.
It's been fucking really good hooking up with you again, and we'll have to do it again. I don't know why I've not come across you before, but we'll certainly have you back on Raconteurs News, as we will Webby as well. Webby, have you got coming up around the Webster Report that we should know about?
We do it. I'll publish it maybe every other day when I'm doing something. Me and Jimmy are going to do it quite regular, and I think this works quite well with Clark as well. So I'm definitely going to keep something going.
Well, Jimmy needs a bit of work, though, doesn't he?
Hey,
Jimmy needs a bit of work, don't he?
Hey, he's never been in front of a camera.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about his opinions, you Burke.
Oh, right.
And his reasoning
thing, then.
No,
who's that? Jimmy, who got on the other night with us?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. He's a bit of a non-believer in some of the theories, isn't he? But he does have some good points, though, doesn't he? You know,
it's not that he's a non-believer. He's never looked at it.
Yeah.
But if you challenge somebody who's never looked at it, they might have an opinion on it. And then when you challenge them and give them information, if they read that information and they're analytical like Jimmy is, he can, assimilate that information and digest it and come to a different conclusion if that's the way the evidence goes. He's never had time to be able to go and do that. Like I said, the kick in the face with Jimmy was the banking system when he realised that money was made from nout.
But he has got that though, hasn't he? He's not oblivious to that.
He's switched on. No, he's switching on. He's looking into loads of different things. So we'll definitely keep something going there. And like I said, we'd need to do a little bit more of this networking, maybe get different people going on it. So keep everybody talking, like I said, whilst we're on Cat D.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm happy to join you anytime. I'm thinking of doing something myself at some point in the future. I used to do a bit of Twitch, and I had a couple of followers on there who used to join us for shows like this.
This StreamYard, you can't beat this StreamYard for what we do.
I think I'll use that myself. I'll do some anyway. Maybe one a month if some of you guys want to bob over to on my channel or whatever at some point in the future,
Yeah, man. We'll sort that out.
Yes.
I'm sure we'll be in touch loads over the coming weeks and months.
Yeah, well, you'll have to add me, Jay. I didn't even know you were on Raconteurs until Paul sent me links before, mate. So if you send us your FB links and all that lot, mate, I'll add you.
No worries, mate. I shall do that. I've had a message from you, I think, throughout while we've been having show. While we've been on show. If it's not from you, then it was from someone else.
No. Well, you'll find me on the Urban Collective, but
oh no, it's somebody else.
I'll sort you out.
You send it in, mate.
Get us in touch. I'll get us in touch. And
that looks like a fireman's pole that behind you. It's like I imagine you sliding down the pole into the into your office there, into the studio.
Oh, you know what it is, don't you? I said to my missus earlier on, because it's a metal pole. This is what the lift goes up and down on, right? So I said, you know what I've got, don't you? I've got now when army come in and they're trying to quarantine me because I'm like only got one leg and I'm not allowed to only have one leg without being in quarantine. They're going to come at me and I'm going to jump out of my way. I'm going to slip back on my wheelchair, grab them and go boom and slam their head into it. Don't. Like it does in films. People always do that in films. I've got my own now. I can do that. I might be handicapped, but I'll still be able to do that to at least one of them.
Mate, you've been
George.
He's
just said when we're on about swapping details. George says, "Will we also be swapping Grindr account details?" Oh, good.
Right, well, I think we'll finish it there. Anyway, this has been Raconteurs News. I'm sorry we weren't able to bring you the scheduled programme, but unfortunately, Jason's had to go into work. He's obviously one of the key workers. He had to go in tonight, and we will have him on sometime next week. Aidy's on his way back. Oh, God almighty. And he were in a fucking terrible mood. When I spoke to him earlier on, he was in Bangkok Airport. He got another 6 hours to wait for his flight. And he was in a fucking terrible mood. And I forgot for some reason, and I don't know why. It'll become clear over the next few days. But we're really mad at David Icke, and I really couldn't work out why. I don't know why. And it was just that apoplectic. And I think he's blaming David Icke for his holiday. I don't know. Coming to an end. Well, anyway, thanks to Clarky and thanks to Webby for joining us tonight, which was a bit of an addendum to last night's show, the Webster Report. If you didn't see it, then go over to the Webster Report. You'll see it. We were all on. There were another guy as well who didn't quite believe as much as we did, but I'm sure we'll be able to turn him around at some point. I'll see you tomorrow night. Thanks, Webby, and thanks, Clarky. We'll see you tomorrow.
Nice one, guys.